the National Football League. We're underway. Cole Ford kicks off for the Raiders against the Rams. And deep back, Amp Lee, the former Minnesota Viking and San Francisco 49er, who takes it out to the 17-yard line. And the tackle is made by backup receiver Kenny Shedd. Tony Banks is the quarterback, a second-round pick last year under former coach Rich Brooks. 2 years out of Michigan State, completing just 48% of his passes. The offensive line has been a problem. A boost today, though, with the first start from Pace, Jarrett, Daria, Wiegert, and Gandy on that offensive line. Lawrence Phillips coupled with Hayward in the backfield. Eddie Kennison and Torrance Small are the wide receivers. And the tight end, Ernie Conwell. Isaac Bruce is still out with the bad hamstring. 7 against San Francisco is when they say he will be back. First and 10 handoff, and it goes to Lawrence Phillips, and he's knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration by outside linebacker Mike Morton. He is the Raiders' leading tackler. On the line, Smith, Maryland, McLaughlin, Johnstone. You're going to see also a lot today of Darrell Russell, the great-looking rookie out of USC. Fredrickson, Beekert, and Morton in the linebacking core. And in the secondary, a couple of old cornerbacks, but good ones. Lewis and Washington. In the middle, Eric Turner and the speed merchant James Trapp. A loss of 3 on first down. It's second down and 13 for the Rams. Banks out of the backfield, hits Phillips on a little swing pass, and he's out to the 19-yard line and a gain of 4 before Rob Fredrickson hunts him down the outside linebacker.
Started off with an easy pass for Banks, one that would bring the ball out in a hurry so he didn't get flushed out or chased. But the Raiders defense converged, and now the Raiders are coming in, Kevin, with their nickel and dime personnel.
Raiders defense, Jerry, ranked 30th in the National Football League. Their offense is ranked first, kind of an odd mix.
Everybody thought the strength of the team would be the Raiders defense, but it sort of got turned around, and now their offense is trying to carry the load.
Third down and 9 for Banks. Pretty good time in the pocket, throwing deep, and it's incomplete, looking for receiver J.T. Thomas. So they're thin at wide receiver with some banged-up receivers, and Banks 3 and out for the Rams, and they'll have to punt on their first possession.
But I think what you saw, they're going to go after the older corners. Here's J.T. Thomas, and he's going after Lionel Washington. Even though they have age, 36 years old on these corners, they don't help them. They play bump and run, man-to-man coverage, and I think that gives the Rams a chance to get some points on the outside.
Super Bowl MVP Desmond Howard is back. He'll play a little receiver today, too, and Will Bryce with the St. Louis punt. And Howard back at the 33-yard line will take it with some room to roam on the far side, and then he breaks a couple tackles and takes it out with a couple flags thrown out to the 49. It's a punt of 48 yards with the return of 16 yards. Keith Lyle eventually makes the special team stop.
Well, they had a clip on the return. One of the Raiders got a block right in the back of a Ram.
48 yards on the punt.
Referee today is Larry Nevers.
Illegal block during the return, number 45. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So that's against the Raiders, who only committed 4 penalties last week in the loss to the Jets. Larry Nevers with the call. And it's on Tim Hall, a reserve running back. Raiders this past offseason went to the unrestricted free agent ranks and picked up Jeff George, a former #1 pick. He's out of Illinois. He's played with the Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. A great offensive line. Harlow, Wisniewski, Robbins, Holmes, and Lincoln Kennedy. Wisniewski is the star in that group. Eric Fenner and Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield. Jet and Tim Brown are the wide receivers. And the tight end is Ricky Dutton. Kaufman by himself in the backfield. And there goes Kevin Carter on that line, and flags litter the field. That play was blown dead before it had a chance to start.
False start, offense, 72. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Pulled off, induced by Lincoln Kennedy.
Lincoln Kennedy flinched, and Kevin Carter was smart enough for the Rams to come charging across the line.
Dick Vermeil's in his first year as the head coach with this team, but spent many years with the Philadelphia Eagles. Took him to a Super Bowl. Before that, he coached at UCLA and won a Rose Bowl with the Bruins. Spent the last 14 years in the TV booth. 5-yard penalty, make it first and 15. George, good time now out of the pocket, and then throws it underneath, and it's caught by running back Derek Fenner, who is out to the 27-yard line and doesn't get more than a couple yards on the play. Mike Jones makes the stop. Leslie O'Neal, DeMarco Farr, Bill Johnson from the Steelers, and Kevin Carter, a former first-round pick on that defensive line. Pfeiffer, Jones, the former Cowboy, and Jones, the former Raider, in the linebacking core. Light and McNeil are the corners. Lyle and Wright are the safeties. The Todd Light against Tim Brown matchup is an interesting one this afternoon. Second down and 14 yards to go. We'd like to welcome you who have been watching Arizona and Tampa Bay, and some movement on the left side of the Raiders offensive line here.
Looked like Harvey Williams. He came in to be the second tight end. Looked like Harvey Williams jumped off sides.
Neutral zone infraction on the right defensive end. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The Rams are called for a penalty.
I was looking at the top. You watch the tight end. And then the tight end also went, so the Raiders were lucky. They got away with it.
Second down and 9 yards to go from the 32-yard line for Jeff George. Again, flushed from the pocket and tried to throw it away, and he was in the direction of running back Derek Fenner. And it's an incomplete pass. For a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center. All right, thank you, James. Kevin Butler actually did win one in overtime for Arizona against Dallas earlier in the season. He loses it right there, and the Bucs unbelievably at 5-0. Third down and 9, and downfield he throws, looking for the tight end and converted running back Harvey Williams, the former Kansas City Chief, can't lasso the pass. And like the Rams before them, the Raiders have got a punt.
Well, everybody knows that Harvey Williams has that good speed. You'll see him come off the left of your screen, running seam. He's the tight end on the line, got in behind the linebacker, and Robert Jones was really a little bit out of position, and you know Jeff George would like to have that throwback.
Leo Aragoose will be punting, and Eddie Kennison is deep back inside the Ram 30 line. A low snap, and that has been a problem the last couple of weeks with the Raiders, but a rocket of a punt driving Kennison back to the 7. And there goes the NFL's fastest man with penalty flags littering the field as he takes it out to the 21-yard line. And was brought down by Hall. A 61-yard punt, a career long for Aragoose, pending the penalty flags, of course.
I believe they're going to call the Rams for clipping. Pushing in the back.
Leo Aragoose, 57 yards on the punt.
Rams have had 2 penalties on them. Raiders have had 2 penalties called on
Illegal
their team.
block in the back. Number 53 during the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Nate Dingle is 53 for the Rams.
You can see the illegal block right there in the back.
Rams had 12 penalties last week in the 13-3 win over the New York Giants, and they've already got 2 here today. There's Russell Maryland lining up against the Rams. The first time they had the ball, they lined up on their 18. This time they line up on their own 8. First down and 10 yards to go. Small is in motion, and right to work goes quarterback Tony Banks, and no place to throw. That's a coverage play if you've ever seen, and down he goes after falling for a gain of a yard to the 9, and brought down by Anthony Smith on the defensive line.
Well, you call it. Banks is standing right close to his goal line as he looks downfield. They got 2 wideouts and 2 tight ends in the game. So they have 4 people out, and as you can see, everybody's covered. And again, Banks forced to scramble. And this has been the problem with Banks. He hasn't been successful this year, I think, because he's running more than he doesn't feel he has time to sit up in there and play.
The offensive line has been a problem for the Raiders. Second down and 9 yards to go for Banks. And again, more great coverage by the Raiders as Banks just throws it away. He was aiming for Eddie Kennison on the sideline, but in reality, Jerry, he just had to toss that ball away.
He sure did. And again, you called it. Excellent coverage. He really wanted to throw off to his left side, and he kept looking and looking that way, and nobody was open. And when he looks back to the right side, Kinnison was not his first choice. That isn't where he wanted to go with the football. And he threw it high. He was getting a man poured in on him, trying to sack him. Lance Johnston was getting ready to sack him in the end zone.
Rams, a poor third down team faced right now with 3rd down and 9. 3 receivers deployed, and Banks goes underneath, and he's short of the first down as he hits wide receiver Torrance Small at the 15. It's a gain of 6 when he needed about 10, and once again the Rams have got to punt the ball.
Well, Amp Lee had been the one that he's been thrown to on 3rd down, but they pushed Amp Lee pretty good in the man-to-man press coverage, and he threw it in behind Amp and wasn't able to convert.
Bill Bryce is a rookie free agent out of University of Virginia. Had a couple of 60-yard punts last week. Some pretty good possession, especially in the second half, and it gave him the honor of NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Desmond Howard takes it to the Ram 46-yard line with a punt, 40 yards, and a return of 9 yards. Tackle made by Keith Lyle. Raiders come into today as the #1 offensive team in the NFL. #1 in.
And I think, you know, the big surprise for the Raiders, they thought the defense was going to carry this football team. And you look at how much they're improving offensively. If they could find their defense, Kevin, from last year, they could go on and string a whole lot of wins out.
A lot of people think it's Ray Perkins who's making the difference.
Well, Ray Perkins did an excellent job a year ago with the New England Patriots. Took them, you know, as a big reason they got to the Super Bowl. Wherever he's at, you always can find good motion, good movement by wide receivers, and a good offensive plan.
And that guy doesn't hurt either.
No.
Short field now for the Raiders with which to work from the 46-yard line at the Rams. The pitch out goes to Napoleon Kaufman with a big hole, and he gets a first down, rambling to the 32-yard line of the St. Louis Rams. A gain of 14 on the play, and Mike Jones makes the stop as a linebacker.
Great speed in Napoleon Kaufman. Here's a guy who needs to carry the ball. They give a little bit of motion so he can block the way. Just a toss sweep. Man-to-man blocking, the line going straight out. Good block by Steve Wisniewski. He broke him right up through the hard tackle gap.
Kaufman, who didn't touch the ball a lot of times last year per game, much more of a factor in the offense. Here's his 2nd consecutive carry, and the 3rd-year back out of Washington picks up a couple yards. The 4th leading coming into today in the National Football League, and the tackle made by Roman Pfeiffer.
Well, as we interviewed him yesterday, we said, how much did you carry last year? 9 carries a game. You can't have a back like this with 9 carries. I thought to myself, if Kevin and I had anything to do to get 9 carries the first quarter, and build off of that.
But he only weighs about 180 pounds, 5'9".
Has that speed.
2nd down and 7. We're in a scoreless game in the first quarter. There goes Kaufman again, splitting the hairs and going close to a first down. He is near M22. Tackle made by free safety Keith Lyle. That shows you that explosiveness, that quickness that he has.
And a good job by the Raiders offense, because believe it or not, the Rams are in a double coverage there. Their safeties were helping the corners with the extra fast wide receivers. And that also helps Napoleon Kaufman. If you can make the defense double out the wideouts, then when you break through the middle, you can get 10 yards like you just got that last play.
They'll be shy of the first down by just that much, told to us by referee Larry Nemmers, and so it'll be 3rd down and less than the length of a football. They converted the first down already on this drive, which began back with the Desmond Howard punt return at the 46-yard line of the St. Louis Rams. Wisniewski, and you said of all the linemen, he probably jumped out the most at you.
Here's a guy that works so hard. He gets downfield on the passes, and he works hard, and he smacks people around the pile. And I think he gets criticized for doing things. He's criticized as a dirty football player, and I don't see that. I see a guy that just, you know, does what you want all your linemen to do, and that's work, hustle, and hit.
3rd and inches. Kaufman tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Great quickness on the play by Roman Pfeiffer, who leads the team in tackles. Now it's 4th down, and Joe Bugle's got an early decision to make.
Well, you hate to run short yardage without a tight end. They're open this side so they can get a blitz off that side. Watch him blitz right through, as you said, Roman Pfeiffer. And when you got short yardage, you have to have tight ends on each side, or they're going to blitz you and shut you off on the corner, just like they did there. 4th down to go, Kevin.
What do you think?
Good call.
4th and 3, and they've got to get to the 22. Kaufman with the block from Williams, and he's got the first down, and there goes Napoleon Kaufman out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Roman Pfeiffer chased him out of bounds.
Does he look like he's playing at a different speed than everybody else? Here's a guy that was a track star. He has track experience, and he just looks like he's at a different speed than everybody else on the field. Watch this as you're a linebacker and you're chasing him. He can fly. Now, Roman Pfeiffer is fast for a linebacker, but I don't know if anybody can run with this Napoleon Kaufman.
Scoreless game. About 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Oakland began on the 46-yard line of St. Louis. And on 1st and 10, the handoff once again goes to a running back. And Joe Aska, Oklahoma, and a 3rd-round pick back in 1995, makes the stop. I'd like to welcome the audience watching Green Bay and Detroit and the Lions with the big upset today, 26-15 at the Pontiac Dome over the world champion Packers.
What a great win for Detroit. Now next week they have to go up to Buffalo and play the Buffalo Bills, and they're going to have a great announcer up there next week calling that game.
Who?
I think I'm going to get that job.
2nd down and 9. Ricky Bradley, the tight end, is in motion. He'll apply a block. Aska drops the ball, and it's loose. And the Rams say they've recovered at the 30-yard line. And let's see. No word yet from the official. Now we get it. The Rams have picked it up. Kevin Carter jumping on the loose ball. A fumble by Raider running back Joe Aska.
Joe Aska looked like he got hurt because he was crawling trying to recover the ball, and he quit trying to go to the football. Watch after the fumble how he tries to go after the ball here, and then he quits going after the ball like he dislocated a finger or something.
Running back who was giving a rest for Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield, and he just fumbled it back to the St. Louis Rams.
Well, it was a little toss sweep, which Napoleon was doing a good job. He loses the ball. Watch him crawl, and then he quits trying to crawl. That's about as weird as it gets, and allows Kevin Carter to jump on for the recovery.
And allows Tony Banks to take over things. 1st down and 10 yards to go. The pitch out goes to Lawrence Phillips, who weaves his way through traffic and picks up 6 yards before he's tackled by outside linebacker Rob Fredrickson.
Well, it's a return of the same play that Napoleon was running so good, and that's they're in an eye, and they're running the toss sweep. And just trying to, with the speed of both backs, just trying to get to the outside.
First 2 possessions for the Rams. In a scoreless game, the defense turns it over to the offense, and it's our first turnover of the game, and the Raiders began with excellent field position inside the Rams 46. It's all for naught. Another handoff goes to Lawrence Phillips, who has carried the ball more times than any other running back in the NFC, and he picks up about a yard, setting up 3rd down and 3.
And Mike Morton, number 50, their linebacker, is probably their most physical linebacker. And he's playing on the open side, but nobody flashes off to try to block him, so he's able to have a straight running shot at him, and he does a good job. Watch him. Nobody even flashes him. By flash, somebody never comes up to try to block him.
Jerry, during that replay, a flag has been thrown against the Rams and sportsmanlike conduct. It was after the play and called against Lawrence Phillips.
Well, I don't know if he threw the ball at a guy or kicked at a guy, or
3rd and 3 has suddenly become much more distant.
I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, he needs to be spanked for it. Take him over the sideline, give him a whipping.
Oh, is that what you do in Houston and Atlanta? I see. Now I understand your discipline. Dick Vermeil, of course, he's probably used to spanking. He's got 10 grandchildren.
Wow. But you don't spank your grandchildren, do you? Just your own children.
Helpful hints from Jerry Glanville. Teaching children. It's 3rd down and 17. Banks throws, and the pass is caught for a 1st down by former New Orleans wide receiver Torrance Small, right into the teeth of the Raider defense. He picks up 24, and a great pass by Tony Banks.
And Tony Banks got to stand in there. He wasn't chased. He wasn't flushed. In the slot, just running a seam. There's Torrance Small, right over the top of Albert Lewis. Now they're starting a brand new tackle. Here's Orlando Pace at left tackle, blocking on Lance. And the ball came out quick, and the quarterback will look better if he's not harassed and chased and made the scramble.
Now some breathing space, and Phillips is back in, and he gets it on 1st down and 10 and gains 5 yards, taking to the Raider 48-yard line. before he's brought down in the middle by linebacker Mike Morton and safety James Trapp.
I think this is what's surprising most Raider fans is that people are running the football on them pretty effectively. And now the Rams come in and do just what everybody else has been doing, and that's sticking the ball right between the tackles. And with these good defensive tackles of the Raiders, you'd think they'd shut it down, but they haven't been able to get it stopped all year.
Phillips had 72 yards last week against the New York Giants. 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Phillips again breaks one tackle, then is engulfed at the line of scrimmage by Anthony Smith and picks up about a yard perhaps on the play, setting up 3rd down and about 5.
Well, that's what the Raiders probably have to do. They built the old 46 defense, which is an 8-man front. Remember Buddy Ryan? Well, here's the Buddy Ryan defense. There's a linebacker, there's a linebacker, there's a linebacker. They got 8 people in front.
The 46 defense.
The 46 defense, and Lance Johnston was able to come off the corner and not have anybody block it.
It's a lot of guys up front.
Well, defense forces you to throw to the outside.
3rd down and 5. Best position today for the Rams at the 47-yard line. The Raiders in a scoreless first quarter. Play action by Banks, buys him some time, and he's going to wind up and throw deep, and it's incomplete, looking for Torrance Small. Plays like that, they could use Isaac Bruce. They need some speed on that side. And
you look at the defensive back. There's nobody near to help out the corners. The corners are there by themselves. That's Perry Carter. He's the guy that comes in the nickel, and he's also beat. Good protection for the quarterback. Sooner or later, you got to keep trying to hit the outside people. The Raiders' defensive scheme leaves the corners alone.
Desmond Howard awaits the punt from Will Bryce, the rookie punter for the St. Louis Rams. Fluttering kick, fair catch is made, and it's caught at the 13-yard line by Desmond Howard. 35-yard punt. So the Rams can't cash in on the Raider fumble. Oakland gets it back. And the Rams are at the Oakland Coliseum with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan. The St. Louis Rams have gone from one of the worst defenses in the NFL now to one of the best. They rank 3rd currently through 4 games. Last year they were 26th in the NFL.
Look at the differences in all categories. And again, that's Bud Carson.
Jeff George will have it. 1st down and 10 yards to go. They've had 6 plays and a total of 8 yards in 2 possessions. And he fumbles the snap, and he has to dive on the ball at the 13-yard line. Covers it up. You know, the Raiders fumbled the last time they had the ball, as you take a look at Bud Carson.
At least this time Jeff George dove after the ball after that last thing with Joe Aska. I don't think he'll play anymore. But they fumbled the exchange. Looked like he had it. Looked like a good snap by the center, and the quarterback didn't get his bottom hand underneath it, which I know you Ram fans are used to seeing. Something Banks did so much last year.
Set a record, as a matter of fact. 2nd down and 11 yards to go. Here's Napoleon Kaufman weaving through traffic and close to a 1st down. Running out to the 23-yard line. Mike Jones brings him down. It's a gain of 10.
Different speed. A whole different speed than everybody else. Hits the hole quick. Is able to make people miss. And then really show good speed after the first cut.
Haven't seen Tim Brown yet. Arguably the most exciting wide receiver, the leading wide receiver right now in the NFL.
Well, for one reason, they got Todd Light on him, man-to-man and a full press.
As we talked about in the open, he is a good one.
2 ex-Notre Damers.
Audible now by George. 3rd down and 1 yard to go. The blitz is picked up. George is hit as he throws deep downfield, and it's incomplete. And that time he was going for James Jett. So the Raiders have got to punt once again. Raiders have had a tough see the speed that would be between he and Bruce if they were both healthy. Here's the punt by Aragoose. High one, driving Kennison all the way back, and he slips at the 18-yard line and then gets a block. Still no flags thrown, and there goes Kennison. He probably should have lost about 10 yards. There's a late flag thrown at the 45 yards to go. It's their 4th possession. All have been inside the 20-yard line to start things off. There's a nice pass to Amp Lee, the running back from the Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers.
All over.
1st and 10 from the 29. Handoff goes to Lawrence Phillips. Running over the right side and picks up 3 yards out to the 32-yard line. That'll set up 2nd down and 7. Rob Fred.
The Raiders defense with their normal personnel in the game.
2nd down 7. Is he audibilizing?
Yes.
On their own 32-yard line. Short drop back and a quick throw slant dropped by Lee across the middle at the 41-yard line. Amp Lee, who leads the team in receiving.
Back, you'd have production. Wherever he plays, he produces. If you gave him the ball 25 times a game, you'd have over 100 yards every ball game.
Third down and 7. Deep drop back by Banks, and he throws, and the pass is caught by Lee, and he's close to a first down. He needed to get outside the 39. He
have made is letting Desmond Howard lead. They forgot he won playoff games and Super Bowl. Look at that.
Rookie free agent Rice, and a fair catch is made at the 17-yard line by Desmond Howard. So he will not return that. Rice has had a good day. 45. What a collection. First down and 10 yards to go. Fourth possession of the day for the Raiders, and Napoleon Kaufman tries to juke and jive his way up the middle and picks up about 2 yards. Kevin Carter slammed him down. Giants game dominated by the Rams defensively. Second down and 8 should be the final play of the first quarter. A little swing pass off to Kaufman, and he trips at the original line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line. So he loses a couple on that play, and that will wind up our first quarter. A very uneventful offensive first quarter by both teams. Jeff George is one of the top throwing quarterbacks in the NFL, having a hard time getting on track. That's the end of the first quarter. There's no score in Oakland between the Rams and the Raiders. Raiders 17.
Well, I think we're seeing two defenses just take over. Two good defenses right now today. The Rams been playing like this all year. A little confusion. They lined up wrong. Talking about the Rams defense. Now they're okay.
Raiders have to get to the 30-yard line. Comes George, and he's brought down from behind. The first sack today by the St. Louis Rams defense. They sacked Dave Brown 4 times last week, and Leslie O'Neal authors that one.
Leslie O'Neal, a lot of people thought he lost a step. He was too old. In fact, the word in the league was he could play on artificial turf, but not quick enough to be on grass. And he goes right past Pat Harlow. There's Pat Harlow. He's been playing excellent all year, but that's not a good play. In fact, Joe Bugle told us he works harder than any offensive lineman, talking about Pat Harlow, that he's ever been around in his coaching career.
So O'Neal gets his 4th sack of the year, the 3rd consecutive 3-and-out for the Raiders. And here's the punt by Leo Aragoose, and picked up by Kennison. And it's a 36-yard punt. Rams are going to have decent field position when we come back. 15th career start today, Jerry. 5 different offenses and 5 different offensive coordinators.
That's hard for any quarterback. You don't play good at the quarterback position to be comfortable with the whole offense. And that's the same goes for George. George has had the same deal. Always a new system, a new quarterback coach. And both these quarterbacks need to stay in the same system for a few years.
Best beginning position today, Lawrence Phillips breaking tackles and taking it outside, and gets inside the 45-yard line, picking up 4 yards on the carry before he is brought down by James Trapp.
Well, James Trapp got a hold, was hanging out, but I was waiting for all the Raiders' friends to arrive. When a guy has a man around the waist dragging you, you got to have 5 or 6 more people come over and help you make the tackle. Watch Trapp slide up here, get him around the waist, and hang on. There ought to be more Raiders coming over there and finishing them off. And that's what's missing with the Raider defense. I don't see that gang tackling.
What about a hobbling Lawrence Phillips?
Well, I wonder if they'll put Amp Lee in there. I'd love to see old Amp Lee get about 25 carries.
It is 2nd down and 7, and Lee is in there with a couple of tight ends for the Rams. Face 2nd down and 7 yards to go, and the second quarter from Northern California. Small is in motion. He caught a 24-yard pass earlier in the game, and the handoff goes to Lee, who gets a nice block on the line, but then he's wrestled down by Eric Turner, former Baltimore and Cleveland Brown player, who makes a nice stop in the secondary. Amp Lee is now in his 6th year out of Florida State.
Well, Eric Turner, they make a signal, and he runs up before the ball is ever snapped. He knows where the ball is going. Here it comes. Here comes the play, and now there's nobody left to block him. Wide receiver missed on the crack black, and what a good tackle. He used to tackle like that for Cleveland all the time.
All pro 2 years. Phillips is back in, 3rd down and 4. Banks to the air with time on a quick slant, looking for Small. Incomplete, and a late flag thrown where the coverage was applied at the 35-yard line. He was covered by Perry Carter, who is a dime back. And we'll see what the flag is about from Mr. Nemmers on the field. It's against the Raiders and a 1st down for the Rams.
Well, the man on the sideline, the official on the sideline staring at, did not throw his flag. That flag came from all the way in the back. 20 yards away from the play that flag came from.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic first down.
Raiders were the most heavily penalized team last year. They've already got 3 in the game today against the Rams.
Watch out here. Everybody's full press. He wasn't pressed there. He's going to throw the ball, the quarterback, off to his right. It's a double dig. And they must have thought he got in there too soon.
What'd you think?
Didn't look like it from up here, but I haven't agreed with the officials many times.
First and 10 pass, Torrance Small. Nice quick out pattern, and it's caught for close to a first 25-yard line. Again, they're working on Perry Carter. It's a gain of 9.5.
Well, watch what you talk about Perry Carter. This is unusual for a Raider DB. He's off, and he's off. That's the first time they're not full pressed. And credit Banks, he saw it, and they just do a little hitch. They're going to try to make him come up and press him again. Torrance Small knew what he was supposed to do, and the quarterback did. If they were not pressed, they're going to run a little hitch in front of the corner that's playing off the ball.
A gain of 9 yards.
You see such a variety of secondary coverages. A lot of times teams will use the quick press in one quarter, back off in the second, much like we've seen here today.
Right, and that's now that we did see a defensive back for the Raiders not pressing the slot, but that's the first time the wideout was not pressed, and you love what the Rams did. They saw it, reacted, boom, through the football.
And that press is used to throw the receiver off stride at the line.
Get him off his timing and makes the quarterback hold the ball longer. He has to wait for the guy to open up.
Break that rhythm.
Break the rhythm. And Banks took advantage. Now look at the corners now, Kevin. Full press again. Everybody's all over.
So it's second down and about a half-yard. And Phillips breaking one tackle behind the line, and there he goes. He's got some room, and he's got the first down as he's finally lassoed by James Trapp, who's been a big guy in the Raiders secondary. A gain of 8 for Phillips, who's running very well this afternoon.
Well, James Trapp is going to be the safety out of the secondary. That he's the only guy with the speed that could run Phillips down. Phillips breaks outside. Now he's open, and here comes this. Wow, does Trapp fly into your at home? You're sitting in the living room saying, where'd that guy come from? Is he fast?
Was the fastest man in the NFL, not Phillips, but Trapp back in '95, but he did wrestle down Phillips, who's had a lot of carries early in the season. First and 10, Banks knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Chester McLaughlin.
Well, we know the game plan, and they're doing a good job talking about the Rams. They're off again. Watch them swat the ball. 91 left hand swats her down, but again there was no press outside, and I think what we've got what's called a sight adjustment. When the corner and the quarterback see it, he's going to throw that hitch.
Side adjustment.
They both look over and say, I'm not pressed. They don't even have to make a signal, and that's what he's going to do, throw that 3-step hitch.
Simple glance.
Simple sight adjustment.
Second down and 10. Banks saw a sidearm pass down the middle, and his favorite receiver today has been Torrance Small, who grabs his 4th reception of the day, and will make it third down and about 5 yards to go. Lionel Washington with the stop, and Washington may be down. Indeed he is, after the hit on Torrance Small.
Torrance Small is in motion, making it harder to get up on you and play you in a press and a bump and run. And I used to believe that if you had a wideout that could not get away from the bump and run, Kevin, you send him into motion and can't jump all over him.
An injury timeout here in Oakland. Right now facing a third down at the 13 of the Raiders. They have passed on each and every one of the 5 previous third downs. They've only converted 1 of 5 today. 7th play of the drive began back at the Oakland 48. 4 receivers platoon. Phillips in the backfield, and Banks looks at a 4-man front for the Raider defense. Good time, and he's got a receiver, and that's Ampley with the first down. And a touchdown!
Wow, what a route. He started inside, running a slant. It's called a whip. He stopped, turned around, and went to the outside, and was all alone on the man-to-man.
And his first third down conversion all season long for Ampley. The second one today for Banks, and that was a thing of beauty for the Rams.
And it was a great route. He just started hard inside, and he made me believe he's going inside. Stopped Kevin, turned around and went outside. It's called a whip. Ran a whip route and was the Lone Ranger.
Whip it inside and kick it back outside.
What do you see? We're going to show it to you when we come back.
Jeff Wilkins, the former San Francisco 49er, will try the extra point, puts it up and in, and the Rams are on the board. The first touchdown pass for Tony Banks since opening day. Banks caught by that man right there, Amp Lee. First touchdown pass since the first game, third quarter, in the win over Mike Ditka and New Orleans. It's been a long time, 15 quarters since we've seen that in 110 pass plays. Wow. That's a lot. Wilkins will be kicking off for the Rams, who lead it 7-0. Desmond Howard and Tim Hall are back.
Ball fell off the tee.
Well, there's wind out here, and that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Well, it used to make me mad when we came out here and coached it. I always thought they soaked the field. The field was always slippery. I always had people falling down out here.
We were walking down there before the game, and it was very dry.
Yeah, they lost the touch. They used to soak it on you.
Wilkins is ready again. Howard and Hall be back for the Raiders. Line drive kick into a pretty good breeze, and that goes out of the end zone. A great kick by Jeff Wilkins, who is signed as a restricted free agent with the San Francisco 49ers. You called that route a whip by Amp Lee. What's a whip?
The whole game, these two players, Amp Lee goes in, and when he stops, the Raider keeps going. Then you whip it, and you come back out. And watch how he sells that he's going to run us. He's in, he's there. Now, look at the separation. Now he's separated, and he's clearing it out, and he's going to make the catch. And guess what, folks? 7-0. That's a whip route.
Napoleon Kaufman in the backfield. Let's see how the Raiders respond. First down and 10 with the block from Harvey Williams on Pfeiffer. There goes Napoleon McCallum for a first down. And then hogside by Ryan McNeil, former Detroit Lion. Nice run by Kaufman, who picks up 15 on the play.
Paw sweep is what they've been having some success with. 22 Harvey Williams, the old Kansas City back, shoves Roman Pfeiffer out just a little bit, just enough for this real fast Napoleon Kaufman to find daylight.
8 carries, 53 yards.
Wow, just keep feeding them.
Tell you who they haven't fed is Tim Brown, the best receiver in the league right now. 16 plays, none to him. First and 10. George looking for Brown, and it's picked off. Intercepted by the aforementioned Ryan McNeil, and down it goes after it was knocked away. And the Rams have got the ball. The second turnover today by the Oakland Raiders. Ryan McNeil.
And Ryan McNeil fumbles the ball, but he fumbled. He was the last guy that had possession when it went out of bounds, so they keep possession. But he does a good job. Ryan McNeil turns around. He knows the route. It's full press bump and run. Comes right underneath. Little jam, little push, another shove. James Jett was, oh, they thought he was going to clear out. They caught him. He let James Jett go and shut down Tim Brown. Well, you just talked about Tim Brown. They're trying to force the ball to Tim Brown and Ryan McNeil.
There's McNeil, who came over in a acquisition from the Detroit Lions. Dick Vermeil told us last night the most improved player he has seen on the team this year.
Because he had a...
The recovering player was out of bounds. It's first down, St. Louis.
It was a fumble. White jumped on it, but he was out of bounds. Rams have the ball. Jeff George throws his third interception of the year. And second Oakland turnover today.
You were talking about Ryan McNeil. The coach told us that he was all zone. He was all zone at Detroit, and so they had to teach him man. There's the swat. Brown swatted it, got that ball out. Now the ball's flying around. It looks like Todd Light recovered it anyway.
Second consecutive possession beginning inside Raider territory. Banks going for the home run ball and looking for J.T. Thomas. Incomplete. It'll be second down.
All right, everybody in St. Louis saying, why that? Why that? Why didn't they pound that ball? Because they're seeing man-to-man, no help, press outside. And they're sort of saying, if you're going to beat us, you got to throw the ball and beat a full press corner.
And the Raiders don't change.
No. The last time they haven't played that, I was in the 6th grade.
It's a long time. I didn't know they were playing football back then.
They had leather helmets.
That's what the Rams have done today. And Oakland has the #1 passing attack in the NFL coming into this Week 5 game. Second down and 10. Phillips in the backfield. 4 receivers for Banks. Trying to exploit that man-to-man. It's an incomplete pass as it ricochets off the hands of Eddie Kennison. It'll be 3rd and 10.
And Eddie Kennison didn't like that shot in the jaw that he got there at the end. But that's the National Football League. Now they got off, but they're off on the outside. Corners are not up in a full press. He runs a slant, and the safety comes in a little bit late there and just pops him. Oh, Eric Turner, he'll give you a pop every chance he can get one.
That's what he's known for. 3rd down and 10. Rams lead on a down pass to Lee, 7-0. Short drop back by Banks. Whips the pass to the side. It's caught by J.T. Thomas, who makes the grab. The 3rd-year wide receiver out of Arizona State gets a 1st down to the Raider 17-yard line on a pickup of 16 on 3rd and 10.
Well, sit up on your chair in St. Louis because we're going to show you what's going on. Full press, full press. One guy is off. Everybody else in a full press. It's a visual audible. Every time we saw this so far, there's the hitch. Breaks the tackle, and Eric Turner's got to save the touchdown. Wow, good play. That was James Trapp he ran over.
1st down and 10. On the 17, it's a reverse. Kennison trying to get a block. Outside near the 10-yard line and picks up 6 on the end around. Kennison with great speed. In fact, he is the reigning fastest man in the NFL.
His speed, though, in football doesn't look as fast as, for instance, Napoleon Kaufman or Trapp.
There's a difference between quickness and speed.
Right. I don't think his speed equates all the way to football yet.
There's a pretty fast guy right there, Tim Brown, but he has been
shut out.
Shut out so far today by the Rams defense. 2nd down and 4. Rams threatening again. And off to Lawrence Phillips, who is tackled. No hit, and breaks that tackle, and there he goes inside the 5 and down to the 2 as Perry Carter finally makes the stop after a gain of 8 from Lawrence Phillips, who probably should have lost about a yard or 2 on the play.
Pulled that right leg right away. They had him in the hole.
Rob Holmberg, a linebacker, had him, and Phillips just tore away.
Wow. Poor tackling in the hole, I'd say.
An interception set this up for Dick Vermeil and the Rams. 1st and goal, 7th play of the drive from the 3-yard line. Tight end in motion. Nice play action by Banks. Touchdown Rams again to the tight end, Aaron Lang. A 3-yard touchdown pass. So after going 15 quarters without any touchdown passes, Banks has thrown 2 in the last 5 minutes.
A great design play. They brought the wing in motion, Kevin. Did the play action fake, and the wing was faking a trap, and that gave Banks all the time he needed. Everybody on the Raiders is watching that trapper come inside, and they left. Well, they left old Lang, Aaron Lang. He used to be the starting tight end. They left him drift out into the flats.
So the Rams cash in on the interception of Jeff George, and there's the extra point by Jeff Wilkins, and it's 14-0 Rams. Now time for Aflac trivia question. How many former
action, and look at the tight end. Aaron Lang slides out. And it was dealer's choice. He really had 2 in the end zone standing by himself. Banks having a big quarter.
He is. And the Rams surprising the Raiders 14-0 with 2 touchdown passes. On that drive, a 16-yard pass to J.T. Thomas gave them great position after the interception of Jeff George.
That's the key. The interception of Jeff George. He got fooled by the corner play of Ryan McNeil, and it cost him.
Ball is now blown off the tee twice, and Wilkins is have somebody hold it on there. There is a wind blowing, and there is a breeze inside the Coliseum, the refurbished Coliseum here in Oakland.
Okay, Todd Light's coming in to hold it. He lined up over there. Your safety is always the guy you bring in to hold it, so you don't really lose coverage. Now, Todd Light cannot watch the man come to the ball. He's got to look downfield, or he'll be pulling the ball towards the kicker.
Wilkins again will kick this out of the end zone. He has had some monstrous kicks in this first half. And that whistles over the head of Desmond Howard. How many former or current NFL coaches are present at today's game in our Aflac trivia question? Well, there's a total of 10. Let's see. Bugle, Perkins, Davis, Flores, Vermeil, Carson, Hannafin, White, Gantz. I count.
They're missing one.
Count 9.
They're missing one. They forgot one.
Oh, I see it. Jerry Glanville.
That's the one everybody wants to forget, too. That's the one they wanted to forget.
You will do anything to get on camera, won't you?
This is my buddy, ex-buddy.
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 Oh, thanks. It's 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. Hoffman in motion in the backfield from the 20-yard line. Jeff George, who has been very ineffective today, with great time here, and throws a pass to the tight end, Ricky Dudley. And he makes a first down grab right into the heart of the Ram defense, who's down to the 40-yard line, tackled by Todd Light after a monstrous pickup of 39 yards.
Here's a tight end that really went to Ohio State on a basketball scholarship. Only's played 2 years of college football. And it opens up. Watch to your left, and the tight end is running down through the seam. Away from Robert Jones. They had linebacker coverage on him. And you can't cover him with a linebacker if he's spread in the formation. That's what the Rams just tried to do.
So here come the Raiders once again. 1st down and 10 yards to go at the Ram 41-yard line, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Great fake. George buys him some time and throws it away. Great coverage by the Rams.
They had everything shut down, and George did the right thing.
Looking for Tim Brown right now on McDonald's Game Break. Back to our Fox television set. And he was ineffective last week in New Orleans. Had 161 the week before in the win over Chicago. So he's back on track, and the Lions with a huge win today. 2nd down and 10. A lot of congestion in the middle, and so throwing underneath is George, and just kind of dumped it off. And
his football's ahead of him. He averaged 13 points in basketball at Ohio State. I know you like basketball.
Bill Johnson is left on the defensive line. Jeff Scanina has taken his place. 3rd down and 6. George down the middle for Brown. Intercepted again. He's picked off for a 2nd time. 3rd Raider turnover. And Keith Lyle leads the NFL in interceptions, and a flag I see has been thrown as well. And George is down at the 50 and holding his knee.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
Field, they say, in a couple weeks. It's still dirt today. 1st down and 10 with the penalty from the 20-yard line of the Rams. George, great time in the pocket, and there he goes on the run. He's got to get to the 12-yard line, and he's got the first down, slipping out of bounds at the 11, and he picks up 11 yards.
And making that run when you go. I know one thing, very few people can throw the football like him.
Raiders can still make a 1st down. They're at the 11. 1st down and 10 yards to go. Late handoff, Napoleon McCallum. There's a name from the past. Napoleon
absolutely.
Kaufman as Leslie O'Neal makes the stop. Napoleon McCallum
is fast.
2nd down and 7. 14-0. Rams on top from the 8-yard line of St. Louis, and George will change the play.
Pass all the way. He's all into a pass with a split formation, Kevin.
Sees some man-on-man, and there's a pass into the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown.
What a catch.
James Jett,
wow,
who caught 2 touchdown passes last week in the Meadowlands against the Jets. 8-yard touchdown pass, and the Raiders are on the board for the 1st time.
Well, it's full press bumper run, and it's a sideline and up, and it's a dirt ball, and Jett goes and gets it. Now, this is football. He's going to run a sideline and up, and watch where the throw is. Todd Light's on a man-to-man. Todd Light had good coverage. Todd Light's probably wondering, how did that ever end up a touchdown? What a great play by James Jett.
Jett's 4th touchdown reception of the year. Cole Ford will try the extra point. Extra points and field goals were in short supply last week against the Jets, but he makes his first one count. Jett comes up with a big pass from George. 14-7 the Rams.
Just say, oops, excuse me.
Cole Ford the kickoff, and this gets pretty good distance. And J.T. Thomas will fall to a knee 2 yards deep in the end zone, and the Rams will begin at 1st down and 10 yards to go at their.
They're down 2-4 on fans.
Hayward in the game with Phillips in the backfield from the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 yards to go for the Rams, leading by a touchdown. Handoff around the Hayward block goes to Phillips, who takes it for a gain of 5 to the 25. And then
there's Eric Turner. Eric Turner finishing him off.
36 yards for Phillips. There's a 2nd down handoff, and Anthony Smith douses him, but close to a 1st down. Picks up 6 yards right there, and he does pick up the 1st down for the Rams.
Well, Craig Haywood can take credit for that. Craig Haywood went out and cut. By cut, you hit the linebacker below the knees. And Haywood went out and said, I'm going to chop him down. Watch, here's 34. Watch the chop right there. Has him on the ground. Good cut block by Craig Haywood.
Phillips in the backfield, the leading rusher in the NFC, and here's a pass from Banks on 1st down and 10, and it's incomplete. Looking for Torrance Small, who has been a huge figure.
There's the 4 wideouts again.
Second down and 10 for Banks. Underneath he goes, caught by Phillips, working on that dirt infield, which is so tough to maneuver, and he gets back to the original line of scrimmage as Lorenzo Lynch is there to lynch him.
Well, they had Phillips stood up, but I don't see the black wave coming. I don't.
Kinder. Third down 9. Banks in traffic, throws a sidearm pass, and he's picked off by Turner. Eric Turner. His first interception as a Raider, takes it into Rams territory, breaking tackles, and finally Ampli brings him down at the 41. A return of 15 yards. And the first Ram turnover through the air for Tony Banks.
And he can't blame the protection. I didn't see pressure on him, and he's had to scramble all previous games. Watch the protection. Nice job by the offensive line. Steps up. Just overthrew it. Remember the last one that went out of bounds? We said it was high and outside, and that one was also.
George has thrown 2. He's also coming off a touchdown pass from the 42. Actually, one interception was called back because of the penalties. Just one interception today by George. First and 10 pass caught by Tim Brown for the first time today. At the 25-yard line, picks up 18 yards, and Tim Brown, who leads the NFL in receptions with 33, makes his 34th right there.
How about the
Leslie O'Neal, along with Roman Pfeiffer, and that group will get a break as a timeout has been taken by the Oakland Raiders. That's their first timeout of the first half. They also get the 2-minute warning, so they're trying to conserve some time as they trail by 7.
ball? We talked about a rocket. There it comes. No chance at all for Roman Pfeiffer to break on the ball.
After the Raider timeout, first down and 10 yards to go inside the Ram 24. George moving up, has to go for a second up. And here from behind comes O'Neal, and the ball shuffled away. They'll call it an incomplete pass. O'Neal already has 1 sack today, and he was hot on the heels of Jeff George. And a 2-minute warning break now. 1:58 to play. Bud Carson's defense is stiffened. Raiders have been flying last couple possessions. George, who is coming off his best game of the season last week with almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Today, 6 of 12. As he's trying to maneuver the Raiders in once again with the second down and 10 inside the Ram 24. Good time for George, and there he finds Ricky Dudley with an acrobatic catch. A flag has been thrown, and Dudley crawling as the ball loose. They haven't blown it dead. Now they blow it dead where he was down, which was the 10-yard line. But there's a flag across the way after the, right now, the alleged pickup of 14 yards.
Well, the flag came down with a bump and run.
And it's against the Raiders.
And probably the wide receiver pushed off on Todd Light to get away.
Offensive pass interference, number 83. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
4th Raider penalty. On 2 on the offense for Coach Joe Bugle.
Ricky Dudley tight end, and they had pretty good coverage on him, and they're saying he pushed himself away. You can see everybody's falling down. He fell down after he caught the ball.
Pretty good catch, though.
Yes.
Second and 20.
So now second down and 20. The clock is down to 1:48. Raiders have 2 timeouts with which to work, and they're inside the St. Louis Ram 35.
No backs in the backfield.
3 wide receivers. George throwing down the middle, wide open is Dudley. He's going to break tackles and saunter into the end zone for a touchdown. He beat Keith Lyle on a 34-yard touchdown pass.
Well, let me say that one is coaching. They sent Napoleon Kaufman in motion, which took the pass defender out with Napoleon and let the tight end go down the seam. What a great job by Ray Perkins. I know he threw that up. And there's Bud Carson. He knows what happened to him. This is Ray Perkins, and that was a coaching touchdown. What a great job he did.
So Jeff George with his second touchdown pass today. 1 to Jet, 1 to Dudley. 34 yards to Ricky Dudley, the tight end. Cole Ford. Oh, and that's another botch snap and a hold by Aragoose, the punter, and the holder who runs in trying for the 2-point conversion and can't make it work. And, of course, last week they missed these against the Jets, which cost them the game in New York.
It looks like he may have got injured on that play, too. He's not used to getting hit.
He's the holder.
That's the punter, Aragoose, right?
The snaps have been touchdown pass to Dudley. 3 plays, only a minute 9 off the clock. And the subsequent kickoff by Cole Ford. This will drive Amp Lee 5-6 yards deep in the end zone, and he will go down to a knee and a touchback. We've seen some great on the Dockers khakis halftime. Rams have all 4 timeouts with which to work from the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, and Banks with time in the pocket goes underneath, and it's Amp Lee who's got a touchdown pass and a great move, and then a block by Kennison, and off to the races goes Amp Lee into Raider territory, knocked out of bounds by Lorenzo Lynch after a gain of 35 yards.
And I
got Moore and Lee in the backfield. Banks again from the 45 of the Raiders, dumping it underneath. There goes a flag, and it's caught by Amp Lee, who's in a thicket of Raider defensive players. Attempts no sacks by that line. 1st down and 20 with the penalty in tow. Look out! There goes a flag. Banks throws it. Was he outside the tackles? Another flag has been thrown, and then a player. It's the outside portion of the tackle. So in essence, the tight end tackles 2 yards outside the tackle. That really didn't come into play. There are other things on that play. Here's a handoff to Amp Lee. Tries to grab some yards. What was an impossible second.
It is a beautiful stadium.
They're down in 21 from the 43. Rams lead by 1. A botched extra point by the Raiders. Rams holding on to that 1-point lead. Back out it goes now. Here's Amp Lee by midfield into Raiders territory. And effectively, Dockers khaki halftime coming up with JB and Terry from the studios. Will Bryce will punt once again for the Rams. And that does just get away. It's going to go in the end zone. He got it very high, but he didn't get it inside the 20. As Desmond Howard watches it float over his head. Clock says 54. The big clock here says 52. So we'll say 53 seconds remaining in the first half. Yeah. On the 21st and 10. On play handoff. And it is Hoffman. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide as he's brought down at the 19-yard.
Yeah, great job by Leslie O'Neal.
2nd down and 10. Pass is caught. James Jett with an earlier touchdown reception. 3rd and 4. Kaufman in the backfield. 3 receivers deployed by Jeff George. Trying to get as much as he can out of the remaining seconds. And once again to Jett. This time to
keep him from getting after their quarterback.
Rams bring back the linebackers, so a 4-man conventional rush on Jeff George. He's flushed from the pocket and being chased on the far side by Jay Williams. And
the quarterback down.
2nd down 10. Raiders have 1 timeout with which to work. George throws a wide open Kenny Shedd. 1st down. He's into Rams territory, and then he does not get out of bounds. So the clock is down to 6 seconds. Gerald McBrose, they have actually helped him.
Now here's the Hail Mary, going to come off that right side, but he's got an arm. In the 1st grade, he could throw the ball farther. Oh, that surprised me. How much time that took?
Out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
That took guts. We all know he can throw this the distance.
On the 38, 4 receivers sent out. Setting up in that baseball infield dirt, and he will go to the end zone, and out of bounds. Incomplete. Time has expired in the 10th. Looking for Kenny Shedd.
Overthrew it. Too far.
So a couple touchdown passes by George, a couple touchdown passes by Tony Banks. That's the end of the first half with the score. St. Louis 14, Raiders 13. Dockers khaki halftime report following these messages from your local station. To live here, he wanted to leave Green Bay and come to the Raiders, and that's what he's done for more money and a chance to play some receiver, although he has not played receiver today. Bad kickoff by Wilkins, and picked up by the linebacker Mike Morton, and he's out to the 32-yard line. That's where the Raiders will start things, and through 30 minutes.
So everything's close to 3 minutes difference in time of possession. Turnovers, only 1 difference, so that's why we're just a kick away, an extra point away from having a tie.
Raiders begin with Hoffman in the backfield and Jeff George, who has the 2nd worst record as a starter among active quarterbacks going into today.
But that's an ugly stat. He's been with 2 of the worst teams in football. And you know, I don't think I'd hang that record on him as a quarterback. I think he's a quarterback that you can have a lot of winning records with.
Kevin Carter stops Napoleon Kaufman after a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
They had Harvey Williams back in there. You got to watch Harvey a lot at Kansas City. 3
touchdowns on opening possessions of the second half. As Harvey Williams will go out. Running back, tight end. He can do a lot. And they converted him to a tight end when he came to Oakland. As he was talking about. 2nd down and 9. And George changing the play.
Look at the corners. It's the first time Todd Light got off. He got off, and look what happens. There goes the ball.
3rd catch today by Tim Brown, who came into this afternoon's game as the leading receiver in the NFL. Todd Light makes the catch. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Well, Todd Light was pitching a shutout on a full press bump and one run. Now he walks off. He walks off 6-7 yards, and there's the hitch. Both teams are doing the same thing when the corner gets off, throwing the hitch. It looks like a mirror, offensively and defensively, these two clubs.
Won the Heisman at Notre Dame.
As a wideout, that's hard to do. Most of the time that Heisman goes to that running back.
4th down and 2. The pitch out to Kaufman. Kevin Carter again slams the door, and he loses a yard on the play down at the 40-yard line, and so it's 3 and out for the Oakland Raiders to begin the 2nd half. Carter had 2 tackles on that series.
Well, the toss.
Time we saw Aragoose, the punter for the Raiders, he was a little shaken up after trying to run out a muffed hold on an extra point.
Well, he thought he died. He got hit by 2 good players, and he looked down on his left arm to see if it was still attached.
To Kennison. They'll let it bounce, and it takes a nice bit of spin for the Raiders inside the 5-yard line. A great punt by Aragoose. Eddie Anderson downs it after a 57-yard boot. The Rams will be stranded inside their 5. Fans out here in Oakland.
Oh, that's the crowd right behind the Rams in the end zone. That's the wildest bunch. There's no one in there that's been sober for about 3 weeks.
Here's off to Lawrence Phillips, and he's out past the 10. This is the 2nd start for the Rams inside their 10 in this game. Greg Biekert, the linebacker, makes the stop. It's a gain of 7 on 1st down.
Well, a little simple handoff, just a dive, just give it to a real good football player, and that'll quiet down all those fans in that end zone.
Raiders have just told us that Albert Lewis, the 36-year-old cornerback, out for the game with a hamstring pull. Harry Carter will take his place. 2nd down and 3. Phillips again changing direction. Has the 1st down and some breathing space afforded to the Rams as he's out to the 17. Eric Turner makes the stop. Chopped him down around the ankles. Greg Biekert slow to get up. In fact, he's still down.
Well, they went talking about the. We said earlier in the when we started this game, it's hard to play press, bump and run corner at 36 years old. Pop a hamstring, he did.
1st down and 10. 1-point Ram lead early in the 3rd quarter. Pitch out goes to Phillips. Read beautifully on the play. Great defensive stop by Russell Maryland.
And they were able to do that with both safeties back to help the corners. When you can stop the run with 7 and watch out double up, they have a corner and a safety on each wideout. So that just leaves them 7. And they do a little trick with the tackles. And Chester, the right tackle, went down inside, cleaned it out, and you saw old Russell on what they call a wraparound. He was looping behind him right into the run.
Greg Biekert is back in as a middle linebacker. 2nd down and 12. Banks intercepted by Turner. And he's got blockers ahead, and he's inside the Rams' 15-yard line to the 12. 2nd interception today thrown by Tony Banks.
Well, when he let the ball go, I looked downfield and I wondered, where is he throwing this? What is he looking at? He's trying to hit in this area. And you'll watch Turner come over from the safety position.
That's a 2nd by Turner today.
Wow. And he was throwing the ball on the numbers, and Turner did a good job taking away the seam on the weak side. The seam is right down the numbers on the field.
Turner's first 2 interceptions in a Raiders uniform made today on Tony Banks. On the 12, 1st down and 10 yards to for the Raiders. There goes a flag, and there goes George to the corner of the end zone, incomplete, looking for wide receiver Tim Brown. Well, flag was thrown.
The tight end Ricky Dudley came in motion and leans towards the line of scrimmage. Come on, Ricky, you can't do that. So the tight end, 3 skip-de-doo down in there, and you can't go towards the line of scrimmage.
Make it sound easy.
Well, it's not that hard. I know he's a basketball player, but he ought to be able to figure that one out.
Illegal motion on the offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down. First down.
Penalty on the Raiders. James Jett is 82.
Well, he missed it. It's 83. The penalty's
You're
on
saying
83.
it's 83.
Yeah, he knows. Here he is, 83. And now watch him. Watch what he does here, Kev. And now he's leaning forward. And they'll get you every time.
5-yard penalty, first down and 15.
That's the formation for the tight end down the seam. He's looking for him where he got him the last time. Same play.
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
I knew when they set him in motion what was going on that time.
Ricky Dudley was the tight end coach was talking about.
That was how he scored on the long one, and they tried. You got to give him credit. They said, let's try it again if we can do it one more time. Remember, when the back goes in motion past the tight end, they're going to... Oh, that's the penalty play. That's the one where we got the illegal play.
Second down, 15. Kaufman and Fenner in the backfield. Brown in motion, bottom of your screen. George dumps it off. Screen play. Kaufman down a block. And then the defense of the Rams came and closed the door. After a gain of about 3 to the 13-yard line, Mike Jones, the former linebacker for these same Raiders who defects to the St. Louis Rams, makes the stop.
Well, this is not the same Ram defense we saw last year, as you just mentioned, because that was a tough play. That was the screen was the third man out to that side, but it didn't bother the Rams. They all just kept coming over to that side. Bud Carson playing a little different than what they played last year.
Third down and 12 from the 14. Edge out of the pocket and throws. He's got a receiver. It is caught. Touchdown. They're waiting to see if James Jett got both feet in bounds. He did. He caught 2 touchdowns last week. He just caught his second right there from Jeff George.
And you got to talk about protection. You want to talk about that touchdown, and Jett made a great catch keeping his feet in. But the protection, there's nobody even around the quarterback. Here's the set. Here's the drop. Now he slides his finger. Now look at the protection. They got everybody stoved up. They kept the backs in. They kept the fullback in. And they just said, we're going to maximize the protection and get the ball back of the end zone.
Jerry, they're going to go for 2. They missed an earlier extra point after their second touchdown. Hoffman in the backfield. And trying for the 2 points. George, and he got it to Harvey Williams, the tight end. So 9:52 to play in the third quarter, and for the first time today, the Oakland Raiders are on top of the St. Louis Rams, 21-14. 15-yard touchdown pass by Jeff George, his third of the day, and 21 unanswered points by the Raiders.
Jeff George sitting in that cool fan, get cooled down, but the protection, Kevin, they kept the backs in. They kept their fullback in, Derek Fenner, and that made for the
Hold forward the kickoff. Ron Moore is back on a knee. Another touchback. The third by Cole Ford. He's got a great leg.
Now almost as big as the
Chicken the chicken.
Now that 2 point. Now you look at the scoreboard, you don't feel bad because you got the 21 and you covered up for that extra point that you missed.
On the 20-yard line, Rams have it, first down and 10 yards to go. Hayward in the backfield with Phillips. Lawrence Phillips gets the call on first down. Tries to corkscrew his way for a yard. That's about it. Maybe a half yard on the carry. Middle of that defense had a nice tackle. James Folston, Greg Beaker stop.
And they went back, talking about the Raiders, to that have not been getting any help. This time they will because it's 2nd and 10.
On the 20-yard line. Draw play. Phillips, he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage and crawls for a yard to the 21, setting up third down and 10. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Russell Maryland.
Russell Maryland was in a jet technique. A jet technique means up the field, and he ran right into where the jaw was called. Russell Maryland is 67. And he came off, got the trip up the good back a little bit. 4 wideouts. 33%
on third downs today for the Rams. Third down and 9. Banks flushed out of the pocket, gets away on his feet, throws it away, incomplete. There's a flag. Russell and Lance Johnstone had the Rams quarterback Banks. And now we'll see what Larry Nemmers and his crew calls.
There is no infraction on the play. There was a receiver in the area. 4th down.
That mystery receiver show. Darrell Russell, 96, a rookie. Right, comes in over the guard, does an arm over. A big rookie. We talked to him yesterday. How big do you think he was? I asked him, what size coat do you wear? He said, XXX with a XX long. Wow, that's more X's.
That's enough to make it 10. Here's Rice. And a fluttering kick. We're going to see Desmond from the 38-yard line. Got a block, gets another, runs into his own guy, and then escapes at the 48-yard line. 10-yard return after a 41-yard punt. No flags on the play. Keith Weil makes the stop. They lead it 21-14. 3 touchdown passes by Jeff George.
Well, this should become Napoleon Kaufman's time now. With this lead, what's going on? He's the guy that should be getting the football.
George will go to the air, and he's got the tight end Ricky Dudley inside the 30-yard line of the Rams. They mark him at the 27. He is tackled by Mike Jones. That's a pickup of 25 through the air. And a Raider is down at the 42-yard line.
Dudley, and we sort of got a hint yesterday that he's going to try to feature the ball. Jones trying to cover him, had him horse collared there a little bit, holding on. But Dudley's a guy with a lot of athletic ability, good speed. Lincoln Kennedy coming out. He said, our tight end is going to explode this ball game.
He leads the league in yards per catch. Number 1 in the entire NFL in yards per reception. George on 1st down to throw. Wafting it down the sideline. There's a flag. And the battle continues between Tim Brown and Ryan McNeil.
And he had him in a full press bump and run, but I think he bumped him twice. The officials are talking about it. That when they got downfield past the 5 yards, you got enough. Don't take your helmet off.
Don't take that helmet off, or that's 15 yards.
No.
Defensive pass interference. Number 47. 1st down.
And I think you're going to see an extra bump after they get past the 5 yards. And Ryan's been playing excellent bump and run. There's the first one. That one's legal. That one's not. The first one he was all right, so he got his head around, but even though he got his head around, he stuck his left hand in there before the head came around, so that was illegal. Good call by the officials.
1st and goal at the nose of the football, just inside the Ram 10. George with the pump fake and going for his 2nd receiver and being chased on the play and then throws it away. Wise move, being chased by Kevin Carter. 2nd down and goal.
And a couple people fell down, and I think that shook up Jeff George. Jeff George looked around, and he looked at James Jett, and that fell down. And then he looks over at the tight end, and he fell down, and then that forced George into a scramble.
But a good play to throw it away.
Oh, yeah, they got a little bump, a little shove in there. Had Jerome Davison in the end zone. Backup fullback.
Timeout taken by George. You saw something like his offenses aligned the correct way, and so we'll take a timeout and talk with Joe Bugle up 21-14. Just took a timeout, and they line up inside the 10 of the Rams. Jerome Davidson, Napoleon Kaufman. Pitch out to Kaufman. A block, and he did not get in. Out of bounds at the 3. The pulling tackle was Pat Harlow, leading the way.
That is speed. We talked about that when the toss sweep was working in the 1st quarter, and they came back to it. Little flip with Pat Harlow, a little crack back by the wide receiver, and he just faster than everybody else. A good job by Ryan McNeil just pushing him out. This is full speed. Roman Pfeiffer got sort of, you saw his jersey get about pulled off, and the Raiders are lucky they got away with that one.
Rams are going to take a timeout. So each team with 2 remaining halfway through the third. Oakland leading and threatening. It's in the NFL.
And I think for a long time the defense was winning, but now the offense has got on track with the help of turnovers. I think turnovers have really hurt the defense for the Rams.
3rd and goal from the 3. Davison and Fenner are in the backfield. Looking for his second receiver and being chased by O'Neal. George has got to throw it away, and there go the flags in the end zone.
Excellent coverage in the end zone by the Rams. There was nowhere for George. He went in the scramble because the Rams did a great job. Helped out a little bit by a hold.
Yep. Maybe a lot by a hold.
Holding. Defense number 23. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
23 is Gerald McBurrows.
They all got in a covey. Everybody was all bunched up, and it looked like a little bit of a scrum, like a wad ball, and they found 23 in that wad ball. Had a hold of somebody.
9th St. Louis penalty. 12 last week. But they've been more costly today. Handoff. Kaufman. Touchdown. 27 unanswered points by the Raiders after the Rams led 14-0.
Not Napoleon's best running up inside, but he gets off the ground. Not a big surge. The Ram defensive line looks like they're winning. He went a long time in the air to get that touchdown. The Rams defensive line really whipped the Raiders offensive line on that play.
Watch out where you bite, mister. Cole Ford trying the extra point. And flags are on the field. This game has had a lot of penalties. 9 alone on the Rams. Raiders
Looked like
have had 5.
Looked like DeMarco Favre came over and pushed Lester Holmes back, and the ball wasn't snapped yet.
Favre's been quiet today.
Hadn't seen those big plays.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defensive team who was in the neutral zone when the offensive man was threatened. Penalty is declined.
Right in here, I saw big 71, Lester Holmes getting pushed back. There's DeMarco firing off. And that's a little bit early. And why would they be half the distance and they turned it down? Of course, the way forward is they maybe need it. Now Joe's saying, give us the extra point.
The penalty will be accepted on the kickoff, 5 yards.
Well, it can't on the kickoff, because then that means the point's good. That means the point is good. Now they're lining up to kick it again. Joe's trying to get the extra point to count.
This has been an adventure making these kicks work. Good snap, good hold. And it's 28-14. The Raiders have trailed 14-0. And Napoleon Kaufman with the 1-yard touchdown run. Let's take a look now at the game summary brought to you by Bud Light. 28 answered points. Ford kickoff. Ford has kicked 3 in the end zone for touchback. Let's see if he can make it 4. You better believe it.
Kick it into that crowd. I think somebody will eat that football.
You don't go in and chase the ball when it goes into that group.
No, I wouldn't want to fight for that ball.
Those are your people. Well, tonight, find out which of these well-known characters Tony Banks has got his hands full. Raiders have built some momentum. The commanding 28-14 lead. The handoff goes to Ron Moore, former Jet and Arizona Cardinal out of Pittsburgh State. Takes it up for a gain of about a yard. Right now on McDonald's Game Break, back to our Fox television set.
Back to Kevin and Jerry.
Busting it open in Dallas against the coach Dave Armstead. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Saw Keith Crawford in motion. Banks zips a pass, dropped by tight end Ernie Conrad, the leading receiver coming into today. Incomplete pass to the tight end.
And that ball is right in his hands. You got to make those catches. The Raiders did a good job. Flat. You should win on all those types of situations.
3rd down and 8 for Banks. Hit as he threw in the pass, whistling over the head of Eddie Kennison.
Well, first blitz, Kevin. First blitz. And it was Eric Turner blitzing. That's the first blitz for the Raiders. Here we are, about 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, and it's the first blitz of the ballgame.
Turner's got 2 interceptions, blitzing that time, and he forced Banks to miss Kennison. Kennison has not caught a ball all day.
You can see there he is pushing the quarterback. In fact, he hurt his hand. He hurt his throwing hand. Sometimes that throwing hand will hit a helmet.
Rice to punt. Fair catch made. 32-yard line by Desmond Howard. 47-yard punt by Bryce. I'd like to see Howard run more. You know, they said he was going to be playing in more 4 wide receiver sets. We haven't seen him today.
But they said only in the red zone, in the 20-yard line and closer. What's happening when they're getting in the 20-yard line, he's not getting in there. But they weren't going to use him other than in the red zone. Speaking
of the red zone, the Rams defense, Jerry, was the only defense coming into today yet to give up a touchdown in the red zone. They've given up 2 already. Make it 3.
I think their defense is getting worn out because the offense is turning the ball over.
Raiders have had a sensational last 6 drives.
Well, the Raiders are on grass, a good place to run that football.
And Kaufman spurts free, and he's out to the 40-yard line and picks up 7 yards. They may just give him the ball and let him run down the clock. Tackle was made by Ryan McNeil.
Well, they won't give him the ball if they're in the dirt. They'll throw in the dirt, and they'll run out of the grass. When I saw him in the grass there, I knew. You can see he's in the grass. If he was over here in the dirt, it's a pass. They don't want to give it to him unless he has good feet. Slides up through there.
Give it to me.
2nd down 3. 5.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 28-14, the Oakland Raiders. Hoffman in the dirt, trying to cut. Got a block from Kennedy. Goes the other way. Reverses field. Picks up the 1st down. And he ran about 50 yards and picked up 5. But he gets the 1st down out to his own 47. Finally chased down by cornerback Gerald McBurns.
Well, there's that toss in the dirt. And the toss will not get it done. Watch his feet. He starts sliding around. Good pursuit by the Rams. Robert Jones, he said, where'd that guy go? Robert Jones was in good position, and the cutback, he ran away from everybody.
Hoffman's got 79 yards on 16 carries. He'll take a breather as Fenner and Jerome Davison come in. Jet is in motion. Like they just maneuvered him on the other side. Here comes Brown the other way. Harlow jumped up quick, and the penalty flags around the field.
Well, that was a bust from the beginning, and we know the quarterback says the formation.
False start, offense, 77. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
We made the quarterback tell us everything he had to say. He's been with 3 different teams. It's the only place where he calls the route, protection, and the formation on every single play.
I don't think there'll be enough time to get the ball out of the pocket.
Got to talk fast.
1st and 15. And off to Napoleon Kaufman, who trips and loses about a yard.
Again, if I was coaching defense, I wouldn't worry about him running in the dirt. I think the Raiders aren't being smart on where his feet are. You can't run out of this. In fact, we used to always blitz people in this because we thought they would pass in the dirt. When I was in Atlanta before they had the new stadium, we had the dirt, and we had rules what you can play in the dirt sometimes, and sometimes you can't play in the dirt.
Second down and 17. Dudley was in motion. George throws, and it's Tim Brown. When he gets in the open field, he can be dangerous. And he takes it to the 36. Finally tackled by Todd Light. That's the biggest play by Brown today. Good for 24 yards.
And again, that's what you have to do when you're in the dirt. Drop back, throw the ball. Brown is 81. And one thing they don't do much, they caught him in a zone. And you can see that was not Todd Light. Todd Light had the outside third, so he turned it over. And he was expecting somebody from the inside, one of the safeties, to take that play. That was not Todd Light.
Quiet day for Brown, but then again, they haven't needed him. Leading 28-14. First down and 10. Play action by George going deep, and he's got Brown in his sights. Incomplete inside the 5. Stride for stride with Todd Light.
Well, after that last catch, the Rams came right back with man-to-man full press. So Jeff George says, let's try it. It's a one-on-one battle. Good escape by Brown. Fake the head inside and get outside, and he got a jump on Todd, but Todd doesn't give up and keeps chasing him. No quarterback or team has cracked the other team's full press today.
First time we've seen Desmond Howard in the game as a receiver. He has no catches this year. He's been relegated to special teams. This is why he came to Oakland and left Green Bay. He wanted to play some receiver. They're showing blitz, and that's going to force George to call a timeout. I like what the Rams did.
I like a lot of things that happened there. And because Desmond Howard came in, both corners, again, Kevin, got off 5 yards. They were not going to press Desmond Howard. The nation in the studio.
We'll be in the studio, and you'll be up in Buffalo with the Lions. We had a big win today over Green Bay and the Buffalo Bills.
Well, don't miss my part. Coast to coast, giving you the halftime score.
Second down, 10 to go. Deep to Brown, double covered, incomplete. He was covered by both Light and Lyle. With Rice out, Jerry, Tim Brown may be the best, most effective receiver right now in the NFL.
Well, you'd say that in stats, but I don't think he's the guy that scares you right now as much as Jet. I think if I was coaching the secondary, I'd be more worried about Jet escaping and getting by me. Even though Tim Brown, he's bigger, he's stronger, but he doesn't have that speed that a Jet has.
Third down passing today by George. Desmond Howard will be at the top of your screen. 3rd and 10. 7th play of the Raider drive. Hoffman stopped, cuts, whacked. Mike Jones. Originally a running back, took care of running back Napoleon Kaufman.
Mike Jones closed that gap off early, and again, they try to run. Comes in here once a year, once every 4 years. Won't know that.
So it's kind of like letting the pitcher hit in baseball.
Absolutely. We loved it. I never wanted to put the grass down, but the league makes you.
Eric Goose gets it high. Can it be saved by Shed, who rams into his own teammate after a 39-yard punt. Landed. Truitt was down there and get up and look to be okay.
You got to like this Kenny Shed. Yeah. He's a wide receiver. He's a third guy that can run after the ball. He covers kickoffs, and here he is as
from his own 20, trailing by 2 touchdowns, 1st and 10. Fake to Moore, throws out to Craig Hayward, former Falcon, Chicago Bears Saint. And look at the 267 pounds of Hayward taken to the 45 and a late flag thrown where he was tackled.
And what a hit when he hit middle linebacker Greg Biekert. They just flat low man wins, and they tried to flatten each other's iron heads. He did a fake out to the strong side.
5 yards against defense, number 23.
Nice job getting Eric Turner on there. Watch his hit. Wow. He turned poor Greg right around.
That's the first St. Louis first down in the second half. Hayward, somewhat of a disappointment when he came to camp. He was heavy at 287. He's lost weight, supposedly out of Dick Vermeil's doghouse, and scored a touchdown last week against the Giants.
And had one of his biggest years a year ago in Atlanta, rushed for over 1,000 yards for the first time. Pro Bowler. Everybody knows he's played for Saints, played for Chicago. Been moving around a little bit. Got a nice new commercial.
A new body.
Blitz. Second blitz for the Raiders.
All day?
All day.
On the 51st and 10. Great time for Banks. Zips that pass for a first down to the 30-yard line. Nice catch made by Keith Crawford, the former Green Bay Packer cornerback. And that ball had some speed on it.
Well, Eric Turner decided to blitz, and he's going to run a blitz. But when he sees Craig Haywood, the blitz is not what I'd call much effort. He didn't want to try to run over old big head, so he shut the blitz down himself. There's the one-on-one coverage. Harry Carter's filling in there for Albert Lewis.
Double tight ends from the 30-yard line of the Raiders. Banks throws, hits his tight end, and that's a gain of 7, 8, 9, now 10 yards by Mitch Jacoby, rookie free agent, who makes his first NFL catch, tackled initially by Rob Holmberg. They'll be close to a first down.
All right, no press, no man-to-man, a two-zone. You never see this.
Time has expired here in the third. At the end of the third, it's St. Louis trailing Oakland 28-14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. Then Turner intercepted Banks, and Jet caught this pass from Jeff George. And then Napoleon Kaufman, a yard away. 28-14, but the Rams are on the move as we start the fourth quarter from the 20-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go for Banks. Good time in that pocket. Sidearm pass just out of the reach of the wide receiver. Amp Lee is split to the side, incomplete pass.
And they had the matchup they wanted. They wanted to put Amp Lee against a linebacker rather than a defensive back, and they had that, but they didn't get the good throw from Tony Banks.
Bob Holmberg. Penn State reserve linebacker, but seen a lot of time today. Crawford is in the game, second down and 10. On the 20-yard line. Banks knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Beekert may have gotten in the way of the pass. Knocked down by the Raiders, their second knockdown today of a Banks pass.
And you remember we said when Amp Lee pizza with that group right after the game.
They're down in 10. Banks to the end zone and caught, but out of bounds, incomplete. That was a catch by J.T. Thomas. A great catch. James Trapp was covering, incomplete pass, and the Rams will try for 3.
But Trapp is listed as a strong safety, but here he is like a corner out in space, pulling full press, little shove. Now watch Trapp run, and because the ball hung, he got to catch up. The ball is not right on the line. Trapp will catch up if he's had any separation.
Wilkins will try the field goal. His first attempt today, 38 yards. And he's got the distance, and the former San Francisco 49er, who signed as a free agent, hits it. And the Rams put 3 on the board. 14:42 in the game, 28-17 Oakland.
Which also has a little booth right here in the stadium at Oakland, and you get the best Cajun food here this side of New Orleans. In fact, I ate too much of it.
That looks pretty good. Wilkins the kickoff. This will be another. Has there been a kickoff return today?
No. Right out of the end zone.
Ford has had 4 touchbacks out of the end zone in all 4. I mean, there's been an incredible display of kickoffs today.
And it doesn't matter which direction they're going.
Oh.
You know, I'd like to say
These 2 brand new episodes on Fox tonight. George with the first down handoff, and Napoleon Kaufman working on that dirt out to the 27, picks up 7 yards on first down, tackled by his old teammate Mike Jones.
Mike Jones, ex-Raider. Kaufman got going in that grass, got the speed, got kicked up, and only place they can run now. I would look at this and say run to the right where the grass is. Don't run left. Run right. You'll see the field, see all this dirt here. Don't run over here. Run that way.
Second down and 4. Runs in the dirt. You call it. And he's Kaufman, and there he goes. Kaufman on the move, being chased by McCurls. A foot race, and McCurls gets him from behind at the 9. He went through the dirt, he went through the defense, and he almost went through the end zone. He races 65 yards.
I'm glad he did right. I'm glad he went. I would have never thought he'd come through that dirt. Here he comes. Speed back. Ryan McNeil missed him in the hole, and he was gone.
Kaufman, his 3rd consecutive 100-yard game. He has a career-high 145 today. And the Raiders threatening here early in the fourth quarter, trying to put this one away.
That's what always amazed me about Kaufman, his per carry, always at the top of the league, just not enough carries. Go back to last year, 9 carries a game. Today he has 20.
It is 145 yards. You saw 135, but it is a career 145-yard day for Napoleon Kaufman. All-time leading rusher at the University of Washington.
Also was a sprinter on the track team, as you could see.
Tell you what, they've accumulated a lot of track people on this Raider ball club.
Most track people I've ever seen on a football team.
A lot of speed. From the 9, 1st and goal. Out. Kaufman to the 4 as he picks up 4. Billy Jenkins Jr., a rookie free agent out of Howard, a college running back and a high school running back, makes the stop on Kaufman.
That's his best type of run. Flip it out there, let him run, try to get the defense to over pursue. He can cut back or race you to the corner. There's Coach Bud Carson.
What's happened to his defense today?
Well, he's going to have a rebuilding job after this one.
Very similar to what the Denver Broncos did earlier in the year to these same Rams. From the 5, 2nd down and goal. A lot of weapons for George, and he finds somebody in the end zone. A 2nd touchdown catch for tight end Ricky Dudley.
And they beat the blitz. The Rams blitzed him on that one. Threw that one into a crowd. Ricky Dudley, his best day. Here's the blitz. Good job. They picked the blitz up. And the tight end right between Keith Lyle and Toby Wright.
Jeff George has thrown 7 touchdown passes in 2 weeks. He's got 4 today, 3 last week. And the Raiders are running away 34-17. Pulled forward the extra point on the Aragoose hold. The Raiders trailed 14-0. George has brought him back. It's 34-35-17. Oakland. Think this will be returned?
Well, I'll be done.
Yep, it will now. They're going to keep it in. Picked up on a hop by Ron Moore from the 5-yard line for the Rams, and he finds an opening, and he takes it past the 20 and out to the 21-yard line. Now the Rams have got to go in a 2-minute offense mode. They trail it 35-17. 219 yards. He's been picked off once. In fact, it's been a career day for a lot of players, like Napoleon Kaufman, a career high 149 yards. And the tight end Ricky Dudley, a career high 106 yards on 5 receptions. On the 21, 1st and 10, Banks sidearm pass caught by receiver J.T. Thomas, and he picks up 8 yards as he is out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Thomas was in action 3 of the 4 games. He did things, but they need him now with injuries and other problems with their receiving corps.
And they're on the line of scrimmage. No huddle, 2 minutes with 12 minutes left. Have to throw it every down. Try to get back in this football game.
2nd down and 1. Good time there. He dumps it off to the tight end Ernie Conway. He gets a 1st down at the 36-yard line. That's his first reception of the day.
What a hit. That was Mike Morton, wasn't it?
Yep.
Wow, did he hit.
Leading tackle.
Full speed contact on that play. He's leaving. He's bent over. He's on a knee. He took a knee. They're looking at him.
1st and 10 from the 36 for Banks. Moves up nicely, and it's off the fingertips of a defending Raider. A pass intended for Amp Lee.
Well, if Amp Lee would have caught it, Rob Fredrickson was running full speed, and he was going to really smack him.
Zeroing in. That's the 3rd knockdown.
Spot right there at the line. And it had no penetration. Sometimes the defensive lineman that's hanging around the line is the most dangerous for the tip.
2nd down 10. The blitz backs off a bit. Banks saw it. Off play to Ron Moore. And he tumbles to the 41 and picks up 4 yards. Tackled by safety Lorenzo Lynch.
And a good call you had. They were going to blitz. Then when the blitzer saw it was a run, he became a chaser. Mike Morton came back in, so his hand's all right. Got a splint on a hole in his right fingers are all wrapped up.
Ampley is in. There goes a flag. That pass is batted down.
Lance Johnstone.
Defense. Off 91. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
Chester McLaughlin. Tough day for Dick Vermeil, and it began so well, leading 14-0 early in the game.
Well, this is a big down here. This is third and a yard, less than a yard. So they have to get a first down. So they got two tights this time. Remember the last time they had an open end.
Third down and one. A handoff goes to Moore. He's got the first down. Interesting, no Hayward and no Phillips on this possession.
With the tackle for the Raiders.
And on a 3rd and 1 where you think both of those players would be in there.
I don't know if Phillips is nicked up. Hayward was in, then went out. First down and 10 for Banks. Underneath, and it's caught by Ampley. He's into Raider territory at the 40-yard line, tackled by Mike Morton, the leading tackle.
Because it is a 2-minute situation. In fact, the man lost his helmet there, official timeout. There is no press. Remind you of any game you've seen him play?
Second down, 5. Banks and his receiver slipped. That was wide receiver Keith Crawford. 3rd and 5. There's Phil. I don't know if he's injured or what, but he's on the bench.
He's not, surprisingly, he's not watching.
He's got those cool fans over.
Yeah, he's...
Get some of that cool fan stuff on. We're down in 5 from the Raiders 47. Banks going deep. His receiver is held, and then he goes for J.T. Thomas, and that's incomplete. Raiders had that covered very, very well.
Well, the Raiders with an all-out blitz, and they blitzed him with a free safety in the hole. I think Banks felt the blitz coming and brings the ball out sooner than he had to bring the ball out.
Wasn't patient enough.
No, he saw the blitzer was coming right to his face. He said, I better throw it, and he really didn't need to throw it yet.
Will Bryce will punt to Desmond Howard. And we are just waiting for Howard to break one free, which he has not done since becoming a Raider. Bryce gets it high. Howard will let it go at the 10. Takes a great Raider bounce, and it's out to the 21-yard line. Keith Lyle downs it. 26-yard punt with a bad bounce for the Rams. More Raider football coming up.
Play it back, rock.
A viewer. First down and 10 yards to go from the 21-yard line. George is still in, as is Napoleon Hoffman. He gains 4 on first down. Brought down by the former Dallas Cowboy, Robert Jones. Hoffman's had a long day running the football.
Yeah, I think it's about time to get him out of that game, too. You got 9 minutes. You got this game won. You're not going to win a whole lot of games without him. I think it's time for him to get under one of those cool fans.
$153 yards.
Wow.
And 3 carries has got to be close to a career high as well. Second down, there's Hoffman again. 6 to go, and he picks up about 3. He's out to the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
And all the turf came right out from his shoe. This stadium is below sea level. And you can see all the turf went flying, and he goes stumbling. And I always thought they soaked the field, but this is really below sea level, and it stays kind of wet and gooey. You see the turf flying up right there.
Sounds like a good explanation.
Yeah, that's what they used to tell me.
I want to know how many teams buy that explanation.
Well, I says, what about Al and that hose? Would that have anything to do with it? He's out there with a big hose.
Raiders have taken a timeout with 8:15 to play in the game. Just a 30-second timeout. I'll go over and talk with Joe Bugle. Had some uneventful years with the Arizona Cardinals as a head coach. Came to Oakland as an assistant. When Mike White was fired, they promoted Joe Bugle.
You got to remember Joe Bugle, though, with the Washington Redskins, did a great job. I got the coach with him with the Detroit Lions. And really, I thought Joe Bugle was turning the St. Louis, not the St. Louis, it was the Arizona Cardinals around. And I thought he was just at the point where, you know, they could win a little bit, and they let him go.
You have to have a book to do this game. You know, we're in Oakland, where the Raiders were playing the former Los Angeles Rams. And these are the former Los Angeles Raiders. Now they're the Oakland Raiders and the St. Louis Rams. I mean,
not a book. You need a map.
Well, it's tough.
Yeah.
Mike White there in the background. He was the former head coach out here for 2 years. I wonder if it's tough to be a head coach out here.
Well, I know one thing. The organization tries to get your players. That makes it easier than some other places.
Guys want to play here. 3rd down and 5 for George, and he's wide and high. His wide receiver, Timmy Brown.
He, too, felt the blitz, and that was the Rams blitzing on that formation, and he brought the ball out too early. So both teams blitzing in this fourth quarter. Did not see much of that till the fourth quarter, but both quarterbacks, when they see it coming, they're just bringing the ball out too quick.
Leo Aragoose will punt the ball for the Raiders.
How's that left arm of Aragoose? It look okay?
It's all right. You're not talking about throwing, you're talking about an earlier hit he took.
Right.
Kennison. They're caught at the 29. 44-yard punt by Aragoose. Rams will get it. Well, for a young quarterback like Banks, this has got to be a good time to kind of test your mettle, test the passing game a little bit, test the limits with which your quarterbacking is concerned.
Well, it gives you a chance also, you know, to run a quarter at 2 minutes. Gives you great practice in the 2 minutes because you're going to get a whole quarter. Every defensive lineman's dream right now.
Field, 4 receivers out there for Banks. 5 oncoming rushers, and Banks is batted down again for the 4th time today. Well, they're getting right in his face.
I think Anthony Smith was coming off that side, 94. He's going to line up over Wayne Gandy in that area. And he doesn't have great pressure. He's not pushing Wayne Gandy back to the quarterback. He's waiting for the throw, and he was actually trying to swat that ball down. We should tell our team a batted ball is as good as a sack.
2nd down and 10 for Banks. Out of the pocket is where he's got to go. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And will they say a pickoff? They do. It is intercepted at the 50-yard line by Lionel Washington.
Wow.
I thought he was out of bounds. They say he was in, and he makes the grab at the 50.
Little pressure on the quarterback, so he slid over to the left a little bit. Tony Banks felt the pressure. He guns this ball. Good hit there by the rookie, Darrell Russell. Now, Lionel Washington, he was playing when Banks was probably trying to kick the slats out of a crib.
He did a great job staying in.
Oh, excellent job. Over 200 career starts in the National Football League.
And the longest in the NFL right now. Hoffman remains in the game. George is the quarterback. Williams is the tight end. Midfield, they give it to Kaufman. And he sprints for a gain of 5 inside the Ram 45.
Well, if I was the owner, what would you do right now? Would you get on the telephone?
I'd say pull 26. There's nothing more he can accomplish.
Get him out of this ball game. Someone's not paying attention.
I'd even pull 3. I'd pull the quarterback. Put Klingler in there. He hasn't thrown a pass, nor has Donald House.
I've been trying to pull you for about 3 years.
Well, I'm going to pull you out this window. 2nd down and 5. 35-17 the Raiders. Kaufman again. In a cloud of dust to the 41. It'll be 3rd and 1. Jay Williams makes the stop. Kaufman's looking to be, I think he's looking to the sideline saying, when's enough enough?
Watch this big offensive line. Averages 305 pounds. And when we did the open, we said the first thing that impressed us was the offensive line for the Raiders. And they're just, this is the time of game where offensive linemen just, if you got the lead, you just like to lay on them. Just push them out of it.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 3rd down and a couple to go. Kaufman the carry with the stutter step. They pushed him back. Big hit by Jay Williams. We've said his name a couple times. He missed most of last year with the broken arm. Now it is 4th down and about 4, and I think they're going to go for it. Well, wait a minute.
There's Wisniewski, Penn State. A lot of people think an excellent guard. He's pushing and shoving, sort of standing up, wallering around. His dad's here at the game. There's the big papa. He's excited. And all the neighbors.
Yeah.
I think the father takes a bigger chance at every game than the son. I think his job's tough for the daddy to sit up in that crowd.
Deal with the crowd. Well, the Raiders kept their offense on the field. It appeared as though they were going to go for a 4th and 2.
Just going to take the penalty. They're trying to eat up everything on the clock, so they're just going to stay in the huddle till they get a penalty, back the ball up.
5:40 left in this one. Raiders looking for their 2nd win. They should go to 2 and 3. Rams will fall to 2 and 3.
Rams right now aren't good enough to play and turn the ball over and win. The Rams have to play mistake-free football.
Aragous's punt. Kennis. Fair caught at the 17. 29-yard punt. He gets it inside the 20.
That's an unselfish punter. You don't see that. Most punters would boom that 3 deep and then pretend like they're mad that it went all the way in. Oh darn, I was trying. Where this guy actually tried. I kind of like that. Biggest actors are those punters that kick in the end. Oh man, I was trying to get it out to 5, and it goes about 50 yards deep, you know.
Old league kicker played the last 3 games of last year with the Raiders. 1st and 10. Banks will hand off to Ron Moore. Got a block from Orlando Pace. And runs over a defensive back, Eric Turner, then takes Turner for a gain of 15 out to the 32.
Well, I bet Turner was shocked at that contact. That was great physical contact.
That dejected DeMarco Farr. That face tells it all for the Rangers.
Wow, good contact.
1st and 10, handoff, Amp Lee. Again over the left side. He's out to the 39-yard line. Gain of 6 on 1st down.
Well, I guess you could say the Rams are running out the clock.
Should be throwing?
Always. Try to get one more. But that's why I'm up here with you.
2nd down 4. Look out. Here comes McLaughlin on Banks, and he got the pass away, and it is caught to a 1st down. But Banks was leveled.
Watch this pass rush.
Amp Lee caught the pass.
Watch Chester on this. This is why they pay the big money to be the quarterback. Boom. That's 308-9 pounds smacking you on a full sprint.
1st and 10, handoff, and Amp Lee up the middle into Raider territory at the 49.
For this play selection, it looks like the Rams have a charter and they got to catch a flight.
Spoken like a guy who knows what he's talking about. Second down 3. Banks. McLaughlin comes again. Banks gets away, dumps it off to Lee. Nice move by Amp. Breaks 2 tackles and then is Brought down fairly hard after a gain of 1.5 yards. All that maneuvering, all that running, and all he got was 1.5 yards out of it. Set up third down and about 2.5.
Well, Lorenzo Lynch was the one that ran over and finished off that play. Stuck him real good at the end. 3rd and 1 yard. They have to convert here, Kevin.
Got to get to the 46. Banks. Kennison in his sights, incomplete, almost picked off. Lionel Washington has got one already.
That was close. That ball was thrown so poorly that Washington had a better chance at catching it than Kennison did.
They have thrown 4 times to Kennison today, not one single catch.
And Kennison struggles with a full press bump and run. He's not strong enough, and he doesn't take his track speed into his cuts. That will come with time.
He's got a bad shoulder.
Yeah,
maybe that's affecting the way how much he can take coming off that line.
But he slows down to make the cuts too. He doesn't run a cut like a true football player yet, but he will. I still like Kennison.
Well, it's 4th and 1. Timeout taken by the Rams. And right now for McDonald's Game Break, let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center in Hollywood.
Kevin and Jerry, here's how the Bucs pulled out the game winner. Less than 5 to play. Dilfer 4th and 6 from the 31. Finds Carl Williams. Williams takes it to pay dirt. And the Buccaneers stay undefeated next week. The Buccaneers, undefeated Buccaneers, will be in Green Bay. We'll be there taking Fox NFL Sunday on the road. Right now, let's take it back to these guys, Kevin Harlan and Jerry Glanville.
It's going to be a good game next week up in Green Bay.
Proud of that Dilfer, the way he's come back. And we have a guy that works for Fox, and always told me he would end up being a good player, and that was Tim Green. Tim Green told us 2 years ago that he would be a good quarterback.
4th and 1, Ironhead Haywood.
Wow.
Lumbering for the first down to the 42-yard line. That looked easy.
You talk about some hitting going on. When you give the ball to Ironhead, anybody with a nickname like that, there's going to be some collisions.
First down, they bring back all their offensive receivers from 42 of the Raiders.
Good contact.
Banks again out of the pocket, got a block, dumps it off to Lee, short of the first down, picks up 8, down to the Raider 35. Zeroing in now on that 2-minute warning. Rams have 1 timeout, Raiders are out of timeouts. And he'll try to get it off before the 2-minute warning. I assume he does. 2nd down and 2. Once again, he goes to Amp. Gets the first down to the 27. Mike Morton makes the tackle, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning. Rams trying to put up one last drive, yet trailed 35-17.
Pace.
Well, Jeff George has thrown 4 touchdown passes today, 35 unanswered points. 5-17. The Raiders. 1st and 10 for Banks. There's a pass, which is intended for Amp Lee, and incomplete. He has tied a career high with 10 receptions today. Tied a career high with 109 yards.
He's out of gas. He's signaling for a new man to come in. There needs a substitute. I'm surprised he's tired after the timeout. But during the timeout, he went down on one knee. He's looking for oxygen. Amp Lee, those 10 catches have worn him out.
2nd down and 10 from the 27. Banks over the head of J.T. Thomas.
He didn't have any arc on that ball. He threw a line drive. He had the receiver could not make an adjustment to get under it. The ball was a line drive ball. That may be why the Raiders have been batting the balls down. There's no arc, no lift on that ball.
Easy day for Amp Lee. On Moore in the backfield. 3rd down and 10 for the Rams, who trail 35-17. Banks to his tight end, Ernie Conway. Shy of the first down. Gets to the 19-yard line. It'll be 4th and a couple. Back to Hollywood and James Brown for an NFL update.
All right, Kevin, overtime tie. Kansas City and Seattle. Pete Stoyanovich, 41-yarder. It is good. 12 that game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter or OT. Back to Kevin and Jerry.
And every home team this year has won an overtime game. Hand off, Ron Moore on fourth down in the yard, and they stopped him. The Raiders hold Kevin Johnson, number 98, the former Philadelphia Eagle, makes the stop and pretty much puts an exclamation point on a Raider win today.
Well, let's hope the Raiders don't come with Napoleon Kaufman now. No time. We got to have some kneel downs here, don't you think?
George will be out there. They're going to put Harvey Williams, I would assume, as a running back because everybody else is a wide receiver.
Maybe they'll get in that kneel down formation.
Coming up tonight, World's Funniest with James Brown, The Simpsons, King of the Hill, and The X-Files. Coming up next on Fox.
I love that X-Files. You like the X-Files?
Well, when you start it week after week, I understand.
A lot of those things, those X-Files, those things happen around my house.
Hey, they happen in the booth. First down and 10. George will take a knee. Rams do have a timeout. And they take their final timeout. 1:13 to play.
Well, the Raider players feel real good. There's Lincoln Kennedy.
Well, they've lost, Jerry, so many games.
Oh, it tears your heart out.
Lost 3 games by a combined 5 points.
And the quarterback's smart. He's Pat Harlow. Lincoln Kennedy took care of his tackles. The coach is smarter than the quarterback. He's patting Napoleon Kaufman on the back.
Without Kaufman, I don't know if they did. And boy, they had a great day from the tight end, Dudley. They didn't need as much Tim Brown as was initially thought. They got a great day, like you said, from the quarterback. Things worked out pretty good for the Raiders today.
And what they have to feel good about is falling behind 14 points. I think the home crowd is turn on them, and they got it going and got it turned around.
Well, the next 5 for the Raiders. San Diego coming up next week, and they'll have grass on this dirt infield by that time. A bye on the 12th. Then Denver and at Seattle and at Carolina. Not a very easy road.
I look at Denver, though, and I question if they're as good as everybody thinks they are. When they just squeak by Atlanta and just squeak by some other teams. Look at here. The Raiders are waving to that crowd in the end zone. The players are signaling and saluting. Thanks for your help. And that group there, that's a special group. That's a group there that reminds me of your old fraternity at Kansas.
The one that you were kicked out of. Yeah, I remember that real well. That's it. The Rams now coming up over the next 5 weeks. Why next week? Then they come back out here to the West Coast and play San Francisco, Seattle, Kansas City, then at Atlanta.
That's a long lunch right there.
Well, Dick Vermeil got an early lead of 14-0, but too much Jeff George, too much Napoleon Kaufman. 35-17 Oakland. We'll be right back.